Okay, let's have a very brief introduction to circles. Here's a circle. It has a midpoint marked, and that's quite important, as you'll see in a moment. We're just going to look at three properties of circles, but first thing to say is that unlike many shapes, especially polygons, a circle is always a circle. It can be red, it can have a blue border, it can be different sizes, but it's always a circle. That means that the properties are very predictable. Whereas if you have a rectangle, it can be different sizes. If you have its lengths and widths can be different sizes. If you have a pentagon, it can be irregular. A circle is the ultimate regular shape. Okay, and there are a few properties that you perhaps know, but we need to just revise. Today we're interested in three things. We're interested in this line here, which is called the circumference, and it's just a circle word meaning perimeter. Okay, so if you were looking at a polygon of some sort, then you would call it perimeter, but we call it circumference for the circle. Okay. The second important measure, and the circumference, if you were to measure this, which you are going to do today, you would start at one point here, and then you'd measure all the way around the edge of the circle like that. And that distance that you've travelled would be the circumference. Okay. The second important measure is called the radius. And the radius of a circle is the distance from the middle to the outside, to the circumference. So it's that distance is called the radius. Right, we should try and finish that off. Okay, that's the radius. So we've covered this a little bit, but it's something that often confuses people or they forget. So the radius is from the middle to the outside, to the edge, and then the final one is called the diameter, and the diameter goes from one side, one part of the circle, right through the middle to the other part. Okay, so this is called the diameter. All right, we would generally call these D. R, for some reason it's usually a lowercase r, and circumference, for obvious reasons, is C. So we have diameter, circumference, and radius. Just something important to realise is that the diameter is twice the radius. So you could write it like that. The diameter is 2r. Okay, and that's important sometimes. And then the final thing, you're asked to do some measuring of these things. So the task is to look at objects around your house, draw circular objects, draw a circle around them, then mark the circle up and measure. So I don't know, we could say this is, so I want to see a measure like this. We could say that's 5 centimetres. In that case, this would be 10 centimetres. And then I want you to try to measure the circumference. And the best way to do that is to take a piece of string, and lay it all around here. Try and keep it there with your fingers. This would be the most accurate way of measuring. And then open the string out and measure how long it is. And this piece of string would be about 32 centimetres.